Okay, so you met Henry where?
Here at Western High School.
Oh, you finally went to school at Western. Okay. You went to a regular, who did you live with when you were at Western?
With my mother.
With your
I was
mom?
able to, yeah, I was able to
Okay.
come home,
So
yeah.
you were able to come home.
Yeah, I was able to come home when I
Yeah.
was 14.
Did you see your father back and forth at any of these times?
Yeah, I saw my papa, God bless him. He came back, he married a Native American from the reservation, and he lived there for a long time. And when he came back, he didn't speak any Spanish, you know, he'd forgotten everything, but he was a funny guy. I liked him, you know. My mother said he was worthless, but I liked him. I didn't have any problem with my dad. He was a nice man.
Okay, so then you went to Western and you met Henry.
Uh-huh.
And how old were you when you married Henry?
I was 15.
15. So your quinceañera was more like a wedding.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of historical things. You know, we were to be married November 22nd, 1963.
Oh,
We were in the
that
court
didn't
hearing.
work
We
out.
were actually at the city county building, at the old city county building. It was right off of Michigan Avenue. And we had an appointment to be married at 1 o'clock. So we got to the courthouse at 11:30, and Mrs. Manderville was with me because I was still awarded the state. I was awarded the state until I got married, and then Henry became my guardian. So, anyways, it was really funny because we got in the elevator and we got off, and everybody was crying, and you know the president had been shot. We didn't know he was dead yet, but he had been shot. So the whole city closed down. So it was really funny when you think about that kind of history that you have. You know, it's really exciting. I think. That's
You
what
were
kept
right in the middle of it.
Yeah, my
so
husband
what'd you
and I.
do? Did you get married a different day?
Well, we got married after the funeral, after the mourning, and everything else. Because my mother-in-law, you know, she was, you know, she mourned for 2 weeks or something. So
Right,
we're talking, you know, like,
kinda hit it
yeah, I
hard.
mean, you know, I mean, seriously, this whole city mourned, you know.
yeah.
So no, and then so we were able to get married on December 5th, which lasted, it was about a week and a half or so, yeah. It was really funny, though, because I can still remember, because when we get up, we always say, okay, November 22nd, it's almost like it sticks with us, you know, because that was the day we were to be married, so we had everything made out. So it's really funny when we look at history, you know.
Right. History got in the way of your
Yeah,
wedding.
my getting married, well, obviously the death of a president was
Pretty big
terrible,
deal,
yeah.
right? Okay, so now you're 15 and married
married with one child.
with one child. Where'd you get the one child?
She was left with us when she was 2 weeks old. Her mother took off, and that's why I knew Henry was the man, because he didn't think anything twice about marrying and taking responsibility for a child that was neither one of ours.
Who was the child to you?
Nobody. Her
How
mother.
did you get her?
My mother used to run a boarding house, so she'd left her. She was
She
2
left her in
weeks
the
old.
boarding house?
Yeah, my mother ran a boarding house.
She left the baby there?
Yeah, yeah. She thought she was going to be in good hands, you know. I look at everything positively, you know. And so she was 2 weeks old, and then Henry and I said, okay, when, you know, I'm going to keep her, and he said, okay. And then he said, what did you think about it? He said, yeah, okay, we'll baptize her. So we became her godparents. Officially, we were her padrinos. And so we baptized her. And
So Henry was your guardian,
when we got married.
and then you ended up with a new baby.
And the courts didn't take her away because we didn't claim her. Because
How-
if we would have
so-
claimed her, they would have took her.
So whose was she officially? Her mother's?
No, we baptized her under Garcia, so we kept her that way, you know.
Okay.
Whatever worked, you know,
Right.
whatever worked.
So when you say you didn't claim her, what does that mean? Oh, you didn't claim her on your income taxes?
We didn't. Well, we didn't go to the courts because in those years, because Mrs. Vanderbilt's the one that I worked with, and I said, Miss Vanderbilt, and she said, Jane, you can't keep this baby. You just can't keep this baby. I said, oh, watch me, Miss Vanderbilt. I'm going to keep her. You know, I said, okay, Jane. Then you can't report her. You're going to have to find a way, because the courts will intervene.
Where did Henry work then?
Oh, he worked at some little factory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he worked at some little factory. But we kept her, and my daughter's 50 years old, so.
And you stayed home and took care of her? Or
Yeah,
what?
until she got a little bit older, and then I went to work.
And then how long after that did you have your first child together with Henry?
The year later,
year later?
Mona Lisa,
Mona Lisa then was born when this one was a year old,
11 months.
11 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like having twins.
Right, okay.
It was great, except one was real tiny and one was real big.
Okay, so your first one you got when you got married, and the second one, Mona Lisa, was born the next year after you were
Yeah,
married.
in fact, my daughter's 5 months older than my marriage because we were there when she was born. She was born in July, and we got officially engaged in August. So, yeah, so she's 5 months older than our marriage.
Okay.